Welcome students. Today we are into an important topic which helps us comprehend few chapters prescribed by the PU board both for first years and second years. We shall have a brief review on verbs and kinds of verbs. Let us look into few examples. The boy hit the ball. So, as we are always familiar with the word verb that it is an action word, we'll now find the action word in the sentence. The boy hit the ball. Hit is an action. The attack sank the boat. Sank, something to sink, is an action. Well, Jyoti has a pet. Has is a verb. Shivam is an intelligent boy. Is a verb. Well, here we see in the first two sentences, the action is very clear. The boy hit the ball. Hit is an action. The attack sank. Sinking is an action. But in sentence 3, Jyoti has a pet. Tells something about possession. Something possessing. Has. Shivam is an intelligent boy. Something which tells about state of being. So, verbs express action as in the first two examples, and it tells about the state in the third sentence or being, and it tells about possession in the second sentence. So, verbs express either actions, a state of being, or possessions. Verbs can be studied under two headings. They are auxiliaries and main verbs. Auxiliaries are of two types. Primary auxiliaries and secondary auxiliaries, which are also called as modals. Well, under primary auxiliaries, we again have three types. They are be verbs, have verbs, and do verbs. So, we shall now have a brief study on each of these primary auxiliaries. Under be verbs, we have words like is, am, are, was, were. Under have, we have words like have, has, had. Under do, we have words like do, does, and did. Whereas secondary modals or secondary auxiliaries are words like secondary auxiliaries are words like may, might, can, could, will, would, shall, should, must, ought, dare, need. Now we shall see the uses of be verbs. Be verbs help to form passive sentences in a passive voice and also to form continuous tense. Be verbs, for example, in the sentence, the table is decorated by him. So, is a helping verb. The door was opened. So, the words decorated and opened tells about the passive sentence. So, here it helps the main verb decorated and here it helps the main verb opened. So, it becomes a helping verb to form the passive sentence. Next, here we see am and where. I am stitching his pant. The word stitching is a continuous tense. The action is in continuous form. So, be verb helps the continuous verb and it becomes a continuous tense. And here they were waiting for me. Waiting is a continuous action. So, were is helping the continuous tense. This is how we see the be verb helping either to form passive voice or to form a continuous tense. Next we see be verb used as a main verb. Usha is hungry. No other action word is seen in the sentence except is. Suma and Rekha were good friends. So we see the word were is playing the role of a main verb. So here even in the first sentence is playing the role of main verb. Second sentence where is playing the role of main verbs. Next we shall see the table formation in order to know how the help be verbs are used to be used. Next we shall see the be verbs in the table form. So, for subjects, I, we, which is a first person as we have learnt in pronouns, we use be verbs as I am, and for subject we use are. Subject I is in singular form, subject we is in plural form. You is in singular form and also in plural form. Either it is a singular second person, you tell you, and more than one, you tell you. So, both singular and plural takes you. And the verb here, be verb used for the second person is you are. in present tense form. Then for the third person, he, she, it, which is in singular form, we use be verbs as he is, she is, it is. Finally, they, which is in plural form, takes, they are. So this is how we use the be verbs in the positive form. The same subjects we use for the negative formation of be verbs. It will be I am not, we are not, you are not, he is not, she is not, it is not, finally they are not. To make short, I am not, we are not, you are not, he is not, she is not, it's not, finally they are not, when it is made in a short form. Then we see the interrogative form of the be verbs taken with the subjects. First subject, I am, becomes interrogative. As am I. Okay, so you place the helping verb in the beginning to form a question. Okay, so it begins with a capital letter am I. We are we. You are you. Next, he is he. Fine. Next, is she, is it. The last one, they are, becomes are they. So this is how we use them in the interrogative sentences. Be verbs used in past tense with the subjects in first person, second person and third person. So the past be verbs are I was, we, since it is in plural form, takes, were, you, both singular and plural, takes, were, he, singular, was, she, was, it, was, they, were. So this is in the positive form. Next, be verbs in the past negative form takes as I was not, we were not, you were not, he was not, she was not, it was not, they were not. Can be made short as wasn't, weren't, and weren't again, wasn't, weren't again. It can be made short this way. Next, as interrogatives. Now we shall see the past be verbs in the interrogative forms. I was becomes was I. We were becomes were we. You were becomes were you. He was, interrogation, he was he. She was becomes was she. It was is changed into was it. They were becomes were they. So this is all about the interrogatives with the past be verbs. Now we shall see the usage of be verbs. The land dash very dry is very dry. If it is in past tense, you can use was very dry. There dash lamps on either sides earlier. Earlier denotes it is a past tense, so we shall take a past tense be verb. There were lamps on either sides earlier. I, if it is in a present tense, I am busy. If it is past tense, I was busy. You dash changing your arguments again and again. So if it is present tense, I use you are. If it is past tense, I use you were. Mr. Singh dash a hunter then. So then denotes past tense. Mr. Singh was. Next we see the uses of second helping verb, that is the have verb. Have verbs are used as main verbs, as helping verbs, and also to form questions. Have verbs in main verbs. I have a doll, playing the role of a main verb. They had a beautiful house. Had is playing the role of a main verb. Now, next we see as a helping verb. I have taught. Taught is a main verb in the past tense, and you will use have to help the main verb. So it is playing the role of a helping verb. Evelyn has prepared. Prepared denotes verb in past tense, and has helps the main verb. Has becomes a helping verb. Chaya had taught me mathematics. So, taught is a past main verb and had helps the main verb. So, it's playing the role of a main verb. Next, we see have used in question forms this way. Has Rahul come? Playing the asking question. Have you taken your notes? Asking question with the help of have verb. Had they registered earlier? Had denotes the past helping verb or past be. Next, in question form, has Rahul come? Has is used to question. Have you taken your notes? Now, have, which is a auxiliary used as a question word. Had as a past auxiliary used as a question word. Had they registered earlier? Now we shall see the have verbs in the table form. So, I, positive form, have. We, plural, we have. You have. For he, singular, has. She has. It has. They have. We'll see the usage in the negative form. I have not. We have not. You have not. He has not. She has not. It has not. They have not. To be made short as haven't. Same thing follows to the plural first person, then second person and third person. Hasn't. Finally for they, haven't again. Next we see the interrogation or the interrogatives of have verbs with the subject. I have becomes have I. We have becomes have we. You have becomes have you. He has he. Has she. Has it. Finally, they have becomes have they. So this was the positive have verbs in table. So this was the present have verbs table. Now we will see the haves in past tense. I had follows the same for the other persons as well. We had, so on for second person and third persons. Taken in negative form, I had not follows the same for other persons as well. We had not, you had not, he had not, she had not, it had not, they had not. In the interrogative form, it becomes had I. Next, we had becomes had we. Next, you had becomes had you, had he, had she, had it, had they. Now we'll see the usage of have verbs. She dash drawn picture using watercolors. So the helping verb have is she has. Okay, as we see it here in present tense form, she has. Next, we dash been working in the kitchen. We, again, working denotes the present tense. So, we have been working. Next, dash she been suffering from fever. So, this is a question. Okay, have verb used in question form. Had she been suffering from fever? Next, I dash been working, again in present tense form, but in the office for 5 years. 5 years denotes past tense. Okay, so I have been working in the office for 5 years. Okay, next, it dash been raining since morning. Okay, it has been raining since morning. She dash an overcoat. So if it is a present tense, tell has. If it is a past tense, tell had. So she has an overcoat. Next, do primary auxiliaries. The usage of do verbs. Do used as a main verb. I do lot of practice. So here there is no other action word except do. Next you see she does her duty. So does tells about her duty. So it is a action word used as a main verb. Next, do used as a helping verb. Here, Joe does not drink. So not drink is a negative action and does helps the main verb. I do not know the truth. Do not know is a negative action and the do verb is helping. So here do becomes a helping verb for the main negative word not know. Next, do used as questioning or question verb. Yeah. Do you know the fact? It begins the sentence and questions. Does she sing well? So here again it is a question beginning with the do verb. Now we shall see the usage of do verbs. Now we shall see do verbs in table form. For subject I, it takes do, Next, for we, it takes do. First person in singular and plural takes do and do. Here you, first person, second person you in singular and plural also takes do. Whereas third person for singular it takes he, does, she, does, it, does, they. Plural third person takes they, do. In the negative form, subject I takes I, do not, made short as don't. For subject we, again do not, made short as don't. You also takes do not, made short as don't. For he it takes does not, made short as doesn't. Same thing for she, does not, and for it does not, made short as doesn't. For plural they, it takes do not, made short as don't again. In the interrogative form, we see the do verb beginning the sentence as do I. For we do, it takes do we. You do you. For the third person, it takes as does he, does she, does it. And for the plural third person, do they. The past tense of do verbs: I did, we did, you did, so on. For third person, he, she, it, and they. In the negative forms, I did not, we did not, so on for the second and third person. When taken in the interrogative form, I did becomes did I, we did becomes did we, second person you did becomes did you, third person he, she, it also takes did he, did she, did it. Finally, plural third person also takes did they. The usage of do verbs: dash you know how to speak Spanish takes do you know in present tense form. Second sentence: dash they ring the bell this morning. So it denotes the past action. Did they ring the bell this morning? He dashed it as best as he could. He, in past tense, did it as best as he could. Okay. So next, Bhima dash not love his younger brother. If it is in present tense, Bima does not. Lily dash know French. So, can be told as does know French. He did it as he was instructed. The word instructed tense, it is in past tense. So, we use the past do verb as did. Next one, I dash not believe, do not believe in ghosts. Dash she know how to swim. So if you are using the do verb in the beginning, it is a question or an interrogative sentence. Does she know how to swim? Becomes an interrogative sentence. Next we shall see the modal verbs. So we have learnt about verbs and kinds of verbs. Thank you.